interesting thing that I'm seeing is a lot of people smoke, a lot of people vape, and I can smell it in the air.
I'm thinking to just take a nap for an hour, 2 hours, and then socialize, mingle, because I'm in a hostel, and this is like a 12
open.
bed.
Currently at a breakfast club spot, eating an English tea. My legs, because I have 2 months to go, and this is only the beginning, but this should be amazing. There's like a lot of cool people, it's fun of people. What's up from France? I'm currently in Paris, France. What's up from France? I'm currently in Paris, France. My name is Dr. Yonas Tekeste, physical therapist, but I'm literally taking a 2-month trip throughout Europe, and this is my first video in France. Paris. I'm currently at the Museum des Louvres. It's like where the Mona Lisa is, and there's a lot of other paintings. It's actually closed on the day I am here, which is a Tuesday, but it's still a good time. So one interesting thing that I learned in France is the main language is not English, it's French. And a lot of the menus or signs, they're in French. So I was kind of struggling, but it's a very interesting experience. It's cool. It seems like people aren't as interested in Americans or speaking English. I don't know what's going on. But I'm staying inside of a hostel. It's the St. Christopher brand hostel, which I stayed there in London, and it was amazing. And it's a very good social place to meet people as well. There's a lot of tourists there from pretty much different countries. It feels like the United Nations. So it's always good to have, if you're a solo backpacker like myself, it's always great to go to hostels that get busy, that attract a lot of other solo travelers too. It's been very helpful. And this hostel also has social events. So last night there was like a sangria meetup with all the travelers, and there was maybe like 20-30 people there, and he met a lot of people. We explored the nightlife. We went to a place called O'Sullivan. It actually was very fun. It was just interesting. A lot of the music, there was American music, and even in London there was a lot of American music too. So it's just very interesting, like seeing how much the influence of American music just is throughout the world. There was some French music, and it was good. And the club scene, they stay out late. Like people stay out, like I think I went home at 3, and I normally don't stay out that late, but it was still going, and people were going hard. I think they close at 5 or 7. But this is pretty nice, this museum. This is just the outside of it, and there's a lot of tourists, a lot of people. But France is cool. So far, so good. I'm loving it, loving the experience. I had some food. I had some French food, French coffee, but I'm excited to eat even more. Stay tuned. I've been walking around the area in Paris, and it's kind of nice. There's a lot of restaurants, coffee shops, and they taste good. I'm kind of being picky now about which ones to go to. Here we are at the Pantheon. I am butchering this, but it's called the Pantheon. And there's just a lot of cool, big buildings here. A lot of buildings here. And before here, I was at the Notre Dame Cathedral, and it was actually closed, but there was a big fire a few years ago, and parts of it burnt down. So it's actually under construction, and they were saying it should be done by the end of this year, but it was under construction for about 4 or 5 years. And that's insane, because it's a huge building. And then one of the tour guides was saying that they received a lot of money and donations, like billions of dollars, to donate to fix a church, which that's pretty amazing. But this is a little bit of what else is out there in France, so you guys can see. And I forgot to mention, last night I went to the Eiffel Tower at night with a few friends that I met at the hostel. It was a great time. It sparkles at night. I feel like France is a place you go with your girlfriend, or just with your spouse, or with your husband or wife. Like, for example, this is a romantic spot. For a single person like me, it's still fun, it's cool to see. I would come back unless it's like with my wife, or maybe even to propose. I'm a single guy here, but in the future, it's a good spot to propose to your wife. I bet a lot of people do that. And yeah, people are generally nice. Also, taking the bus system, woo, it's confusing. Words are not in English anywhere, and a lot of the guards, they'll help you out, but they don't look happy to help you out. I don't know if that's just because that's how the language sounds, but people sound pissed off when they talk to you. But I think that's just how it sounds. It has that roughness in the front, but it's great though. Nice people overall. It's just cool. And it's interesting here because the police here do have guns. Where coming from America in the USA, of course, everyone has guns there. And depending on where you are, like in Texas, you have a bunch of guns. But when I was in London, England, literally no one has guns. And it's just very interesting because the police don't use guns. They have a taser, and then the people don't have guns. But here in France, the police do have guns. So it's just interesting seeing different types of gun laws based off of what country that you're in. Because I think America's most liberal with guns. So it's always just interesting observation I've noticed in different countries. I'm at the Versailles Palace, which is where a lot of the French rulers used to live and where government stuff was done for the France. But now there's shops and it's all for the tourists. One of the perks of traveling solo, as a solo single traveler, is it's just easier to move. You can just go somewhere and make it happen. You don't have to wait on anybody. You literally can just make it happen. So there's a lot of tourists here. This is the summer. But essentially, I didn't buy a ticket, and then I saw someone randomly who said, "Hey, you want a ticket?" And I grabbed it. So that was amazing just to get a free ticket. Otherwise, I would have spent maybe like $40. But it's been great so far. This is a nice palace. I was on the inside. I just exited. I didn't go to the garden because I'm not a fan of gardens. I'm actually not a fan of museums too much, but it's still nice to check out. But this is just like they had a lot of nice things inside of a home, like paintings, pictures, artwork, couches, beds, like interestingly sized beds. And everything looked different. I wonder if this was on Airbnb, how much they could charge a night, maybe $100,000 a night or $50,000. Because I was searching online and it said to build this kind of a building today, it would cost about $200 to $300 billion would it be. Not million, not thousand, but billion. That's insane. And a lot of the architecture here is gorgeous. Gorgeous, you can't really see here too much, but it was great. Last night, I went out with a group in my hostel I met. It's like the United Nations, and this hostel, they have a lot of social events. There was a mojito night where we made mojitos, and then you get to meet a lot of people, and there's like free drinks. Who doesn't like free drinks? And there's about 30 people there, and it was good. It's low-key kind of sad because you meet all these people in the hostel. You have like one fun night, two fun nights, and then next morning they leave, or next morning I leave. So low-key, it's a little bit sad. But on the bright side, if you travel to somewhere like Belgium, Australia, I don't know, Canada, where you're meeting all these people quickly, you have at least one friend or one person to give you recommendations. So that's an amazing thing. Like I literally met people from probably over 30 countries. And just all over the world. That's a perk of being in a hostel, and I love hostels, and it's great to have hostels with social events, with like some kind of a bar or restaurant, because they're typically more social. I've been going to one hostel branch. It's called the St. Christopher Inn, but they're throughout Europe, and they've been good so far. I went to one in London, and now I'm in one in Paris. And it's been an amazing time so far. Paris. I'm surprised that I'm not as tired because I've been sleeping about like 5-6 hours the past 2 days, which is I guess not bad normally, but normally I get a full sleep 8 hours. But it's been pretty good so far. I still feel semi-fresh. This is my second week of my trip. It's like day 8, I believe. And tomorrow I'm gonna go to Lyon. Excited for that. And I actually figured out the train system more because the trains are tricky. They're not in English, but now I'm kind of getting the hang of it. Stay tuned, guys. Follow for more.